Hello, this is a demo to showcase how to launch Nected Decision Management Platform Service Suite from AWS Marketplace. We have given a cloud formation template to launch the services from AWS Marketplace. This cloud formation template will deploy all the required services like Postgres, Elasticsearch, and OpenSearch, and also create a EKS cluster, then use Helm chart to deploy and to launch the services, and also create a load balancer. As a prerequisite to access the services, you will need 4 domains and a SSL certificate. Now let's move to the purchase option. After subscribing to the software, continue the configuration. You can see the version 0.3, 3.0. This version can be launched using the cloud formation template. These are the launch steps. You can clearly see that. Now we will click on the deployment templates. This will take us to the cloud formation. Here you can see this is the starting page where it is going to deploy the services using this cloud formation template. These are the input which it will require to launch the services. First is the stack name, then second is the VPC, whether you want to use the existing VPC or you want to create a new VPC. In case of existing VPC, you have to provide the private subnet IDs at least 2, existing public subnet IDs at least 2, and the CIDR. We will use the create VPC option here. After that, as we mentioned earlier, we need 4 domains. One is the UI domain, second is the backend domain, third is the editor domain, and the fourth one is the router domain and the certificate ARN. We will use these 4 domains here. The app.dev.nected.io will go in a UI domain. This will be used to access the UI. This is the API which will be used by the app.dev.nected.io to interact with the backend. This is the editor service. Then this is the router, the domain for triggering the rules and workflow. We have already created certificates. We will use this ARN. Now we are going to launch. Now the cloud formation will start rolling out the services. This will take some time. We will wait. So this will first create VPC, then it will create a EKS cluster and its nodes. Then it will launch basically required services like before that it will create some credentials, credential for Redis, credential for Postgres and OpenSearch. Then it will launch all these services. Then it will deploy the services using the Helm chart over the EKS cluster. Once this service rollout will complete, we will map the domains to the newly created load balancer, and then we will access the services. So as you can see, after around 15 minutes, the rollout is completed. So as a first thing, post deployment, we will go to the EC2 and we will check the load balancer. This is a newly created load balancer, and we will copy the domain. And what we will do, we will update, we will create or update depending upon your route 53. Basically we will update the record here. I have already updated. In between you can see that app, API, and editor, and also the router. All four domains are pointing towards the same load balancer. And here we will put dev @nected.ai. This is the sample domain. Password 123. Password 123. So now we have access to the services. Here you can create a rule. That's a sample rule. And this rule here you can just define, okay, if current time is let's say greater than request time, then output let's say today. Okay, if you will test this rule, this will test, okay, this is true because the current time, the time when the rule will get executed, this will be true, and this will be today date. Thank you. Now you have access to the service. Everything is up and running.